Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope you're having a great day. My name is Trevor Foldgering, metabolic health specialist for men over 40. Today, I have a very special topic for you, which is why is it so much harder to lose your stubborn belly fat when you're eating less food? That's super common. I hear that all the time when I talk to men over 40. And that is something that we've been taught in today's society is that, hey, if you just want to lose weight, just go on a diet. Just diet your way out of it, right? By the way, what are the first three letters of the word diet? D-I-E. Feels like you're dying when you're on a diet. So you never want to diet. You never want to go on a diet to actually lose body fat, because what you're actually teaching your body is to protect itself, to restrict, to not actually lose body fat. You're putting your body in protection mode. And there's a couple of reasons why that is so important. First reason is that you always want to match your calories in versus calories out. You actually don't want to go on a caloric deficit. Everybody says, hey, just go on a caloric deficit. You'll be fine. You'll lose weight. Just, cut your calories down from, 2,500 down to 2,000, then down to 1,800, then down to 1,600, right? That's a common myth. So many people say that, and then so many people get in trouble because they basically break their metabolism. They reduce the basal metabolic rate, which I'll talk about in a minute. But we always want to make sure to equal the amount of calories coming in versus calories out. So if you're an active guy and you're like, hey, I go to the gym every day, I'm cycling to work, I have a physically active job, your calorie needs are so much more higher than a sedentary person, right? And so you have to always match calories in versus calories out, because that really is telling your body, hey, I have enough fuel to actually lose body fat, right? So many people are afraid of eating, right? We've been taught, hey, if you want to lose weight, don't eat, right? Restrict, 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 right? And if you listen to your hunger and you're hungry, restrict some more. Just drink some water, or, have a cup of tea, right? Coffee, have a cup of coffee because that kills your hunger pains. Wrong. We cannot do that. We're causing our body so much dysfunction. We have to reverse it, guys. We can't always be in a caloric deficit. In fact, it's one of the toughest things for your body to fight through is if your calories are super low and you're pushing your body in the gym and you're trying to be like a, say for example, an athlete or trying to lose body fat in the gym. It's not going to work. You're basically pushing up against a brick wall, right? And so instead, you got to come about it the other way, which is actually not restricting calories and giving your body exactly what it needs, the right amount of calories for your caloric input. The other thing, guys, the number two point is your basal metabolic rate is going to slowly lower. Okay, so let's say, for example, it's 2,500 calories that you need every single day. And then you decide to go on a diet, and then you start to lower your calories. You go to 2,300, then 2,100, then 2,000, then 1,800, then 1,600, then 1,500. It's just exhausting for me to say all that. Right? Your body is going to go into defensive mode and it's going to lower its basal metabolic rate, right? So your basal metabolic rate is the amount of calories you need every single day for your body to actually function properly, right? Or normally. Basically, it's your caloric intake at rest. Right now, if you're an active guy, you need way more calories than your basal metabolic rate. But the point is, if you start to lower calories, your basal metabolic is going to match that calorie need, right? So your body adapts. It lowers its BMR. You're not going to be able to lose body fat efficiently. You're going to store more body fat more efficiently, and it's going to be really challenging, okay? So those are the two things I really want you to look at. The third thing is that it's harder to manage your hunger when you're restricting. It's harder to manage your hunger because your hunger is driven primarily by hormones. And if you restrict, your body's going to release hormones that tell you to eat, and you're eventually going to start craving foods, right? So you go into this cycle, right? You go into the cycle of restriction, and then you're hungry, and then you feel guilty, so you have cravings, and you succumb to your cravings, and then you feel more guilty because you're like, I just blew it, and then you eat more food, and then you go into that whole cycle again, right? So then it's that big cycle, right? It's restriction, feeling not good, then getting cravings, and then succumbing to those cravings, and then feeling like crap, and then again, you say, oh my God, I blew it, and then you eat whatever you want, and then so you gain the weight. So it's really hard to manage your hunger when you're actually restricting calories. So we have to come about this completely opposite, right? And so with a few minutes remaining, I want to tell you a little bit more about how this all works, because first off, your metabolism really loves to stay in homeostasis, in balance, right? So we need to make sure to balance caloric intake with caloric output. What does that really mean? It means actually eating 4 meals a day spaced 4 hours apart. No restriction, no fasting, no OMAD, which is 1 meal a day, right? We need to make sure we're fueling our body properly every 4 hours. Now we have to make sure to have the right amount of fats and proteins, because that's going to tell your body that it has proper fuel so that hormones work properly, so you feel better, so they have more energy, so cravings are lower, so hunger is stable, so energy is regulated. That really is the key. 4 meals spaced 4 hours apart. That's what we teach in our metabolic operating system. That's the key. All right. And so that is the number one thing that we got to look at, because your body is communicating with you all the time. And so if you're restricting calories and your body communicates, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I don't feel good, we have to look at what's happening. So if you're restricting calories, what I would suggest is just stop restricting calories. All right. Make sure that you're not, because you can actually tell your body, you can give your body the right amount of foods and you can still lose body fat. Right? So if you want more information, guys, I have something really amazing. It's called the 15-day Metabolic Reset. Just underneath this video, you can get access to this completely free. You don't have to pay anything. There's no credit card required. All you need to do is click the link, put in your contact information, and our system is going to send you out the information to start our 15-day Metabolic Reset. Now, in that reset, you can actually strengthen your metabolism so you can start losing belly fat without restriction, without caloric dieting, without going to the gym like 6 days a week. Right? So it's super important that I get this information out to you. And if you're watching on YouTube, just subscribe underneath this video, guys. It just takes 2 seconds. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button if you've enjoyed this content. Because I put out this content every single day, Monday through Friday, around 2 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. So you guys can learn about how to properly improve your metabolism, rebuild your metabolism so fat loss becomes more effective. All right, so that's it for me today, guys. I'm super excited to be here, guys. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section just underneath. But let's continue to rebuild your metabolism, and I'll see you on that next Metabolic Debrief. Bye for now.